Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 5 of the PB&J Ballers podcast. I am your host, Peter the Rock, along with my boy, Jazzy Main.
Yes, sir. We in the building. Let's
Uh,
go.
we're excited today. Jazzy. I don't know if you know, but we're at 262 subscribers and climbing.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, I really
Keep them
appreciate you
coming.
guys. Sounds the videos have been getting some pretty good views, but if you're listening for your first time, make sure to hit the like button, give us a subscribe, and a comment on what you want to hear from us next. Uh, honestly, I could have done a podcast last night. Like I wanted to kind of get into what happened because last night was hilarious. Trae Young has earned my fucking respect. And I never didn't have respect for Trae Young. I always thought he was a good player, but I didn't like his antics in the Knicks series, and I always felt like he was kind of a less respectable kind of Steph Damian Lillard type of player. But man, dropping 48 on the Bucks' head with 11 assists on the 50% shooting from the field. Whoo! Yeah, you didn't shoot low.
He joins the league company as far as there's only two other players that have done that feat under the age of 23,
He did it before
and it
LeBron did. The only other
no, it was
person.
Kobe and
And
who was the other
Mr.
one? Was
LeBron
it
James.
LeBron?
Yeah, it's LeBron and Kobe. But man, I was watching him, and I actually posted a video of it when I saw it because he was so confident in himself in a situation where he's never been in. Drew Holiday, I'll put up I'll put up the video because I already posted it on the channel. I'll put it up as well just in case no one saw it. Basically, Drew Holiday gets stuck on a screen and goes to his right, and then Trae fakes going left, his left, and then goes to his right. So Drew's on the wrong side of the screen. And Trae is so open. He sits there for 2 seconds, does a shoulder shimmy into a 3 pointer, and then hits it. And then stands there for
That's
another 3 seconds.
disrespectful.
Not only is it disrespectful, I love it.
I dig it. I dig it.
I love it. It makes it
But the thing is,
ooh.
Trey Young's skills are so good that he don't have a chance to fold in them big moments because he can rely on his skills.
It's what I
If you have
mentioned last
confidence in
time.
your skills, then it'll always follow through. If you're not
Exactly.
confident in yourself and your skills, then of course you're gonna fade out in the prime time moments.
I want to get to that with the Clippers game from the other day, but I do want to keep on Trae because let's be honest, Trae,
Oh
it's
yeah,
this,
it's the hot topic right now.
it's the thing that I mentioned in the last episode that we did. When you have little expectations to go far in the playoffs, sometimes it comes to fruition, right? You're the underdog. Underdogs, they may not win, but oh, whatever. But
I
then
put it out in the air, man. I told you I thought they might handle him.
exactly with the Hawks, you can tell they are a team that just wants to go out there and ball because Trey Young made everybody on his team better last night. John Collins was picking up nice oops. Kevin
Yeah, what
Herter,
about that oop off the backboard? That's some fucking NBA street shit.
dude, it was beautiful because when I
Pardon my
saw it, I
French.
thought it was fucking. I thought it was gonna miss, and then it just off the It just
Not only that, the angle that Trey threw it, it wasn't straight on. Like
yeah.
if
That
you
was a
throw it off the backboard to somebody behind you, he
that
threw it
was
at an angle,
that
and
was a
John
classic.
Collins just whammied it.
That's a classic Peter the Rock in 2K alley oop to Jazzy.
Facts.
Oh man, this year they introduced a lot of backboard and off the floor alley oops for me to give to Jazzy, so I've been hitting him with those, and it's always nice to see. But man, Trey was, even though he was only 4 of 13 from three, he still got
Dominant
to
off that pick
48
and roll.
points. It was
They couldn't stop him. They
they
didn't
could
know how to
not stop
stop
him.
him off the pick and roll.
He was hitting floaters. He was hitting mid range. He was saucing people up and giving the ball to his teammates. Clint Capella looked like John Collins in the third quarter was only like he only had like 16 points, 12 points, something around there, but he had 13 rebounds too. That's
Man,
big.
John Collins looks like a potential superstar caliber,
He was so
and
under the
Trey
radar.
Young
Yeah,
went
I
to
know.
the is going to the megastar category.
100%, 100%. And like I mentioned it before, Trey was always kind of like the ugly step bro, the ugly brother or sister. Like no one really looks at them. And then now, boom, he's blossomed into this guy. Because now you
Well,
got
that and people sleep on Clint Capella. They forget he almost got a max contract with the Rockets
Clint Capella is the
before they decided to
definition
move on.
of someone who knows exactly what his job is. When I think of Clint, I feel Rodman vibes because you know what, Clint offensively, he's nothing amazing, but he knows his role. He's a defender, he's a rebounder, and he's a big dog because he
A
plays
rim
like
runner.
he plays like he's bigger than he is. The same way Rodman did, right? And John Collins putting him there, and Kevin Herter. They lost Rondo, which is a big lost, but they still have Boban, they have Bogdanovic, whatever. Man, that team is the 1 through 5 on their starters are really good. And honestly,
Rondo's still in the mix with the Clippers, but it makes you wonder if he would have stayed with the
yeah,
Hawks.
100%. Especially speaking of the Clippers, yeah, being down 2-0 to the Suns in the way that they did the other night. Man, Jay Crowder, just even ignoring the DeAndre Ayton thing, because DeAndre Ayton we know is athletic and he fucking put that ball in the hoop so fucking fast. But the vision from Jay to see him cut Miami Heat really wish they kept that man. I can tell you that 100% because first of all,
He's such a luxury to have because he can space the floor. He can play
exactly.
defense. He's a veteran. He's smart.
He's the type of
He
player
can
that's
pass real well.
he's changed with the game, and he's become a very good stretch four that can play really good defense. He was the guy in charge of guarding LeBron, and he still did a very good job. LeBron put up numbers, but again, it kind of stopped the rest of the guys on the team on the Lakers from doing anything else because he's a quick, nimble, really nice four, and they can stretch the
Jay
floor.
Crowder, last pick in the draft, ladies and gentlemen. That shows you can get talent at the end of the drafts.
100%, 100%. And you know what? Again,
And those players a lot of time have a chip on their shoulder, like, "What? I'm the last player picked. I'm gonna prove them wrong." You know.
it's again that's the underdog mentality. I've talked about it a lot actually. It's surprising how much I've talked about it in the past couple episodes, but the under
Let's go
I
Detroit. By the way, let's go. Number
that's
one.
the underdog.
Woo!
Man,
Cade Cunningham, we're getting him.
bro, I'm
I'm gonna
honestly
get a jersey.
me personally, I knew that
The
Detroit was
Raptors
going to get
moved
a high
up,
pick.
man.
I'm so happy. Yo, Van Vliet getting the fourth pick, man, beautiful. Again, could I have
Yeah,
wanted
y'all
a
went
higher
from
pick?
9 to 4, so that's pretty
Exactly.
good.
I cannot complain. And you know what? Being a little bit higher would have secured a guy like Mobley and Kuminga, but though you can't complain about the fourth. The Raptors are either going to get Jalen Green, Kuminga, or Evan Mobley. Anybody else doesn't make sense. Well, honestly, I love Jalen Suggs. If you're looking at one of my favorite players in this draft, Jalen Suggs and Gonzaga really did it for me. He was that guy that really popped out like, wow, this man looks NBA ready. But
Yeah,
the
all around,
Raptors need
defensively,
a big
offensively,
and Cade Cunningham.
intangibles.
If Detroit doesn't pick Cade, something is
Dude,
wrong with Detroit.
you know what I'll be the most mad? Like, of course, if we don't pick him, but if we trade down our pick, which I could see us doing on some crazy shit, which I mean, I don't think we will, but if we do, I will be unreal mad, man.
Dwayne Casey, can you do that for the
Just like, oh,
Raptors?
we can get two
The
picks in the
Raptors will
first
take
round
the
instead of,
Raptors will
you know.
take your first round pick, bro. We'll give you the fourth. We'll take the first. We'll throw in a guy like Stanley Johnson. You can take him back. Give us
We
the
don't want
first.
Stanley. That was a wasted pick.
Dude, Stanley's not bad on the Raptors. He's not amazing, but he's definitely not the worst. But
But Cade Cunningham is a franchise player. He's the guy that can come in and make the team better immediately.
I am very impressed with what I've seen with him so far. Again, you know, what college ball is one thing I'm really weak at when it comes to like seeing talent because I don't really get an opportunity that much to watch it. But
Yeah,
from
I watched him a lot this year,
what
and
I've seen is
pretty.
he's a big dog, man. It's
Imagine Ben Simmons, like not quite as tall. He's about 6'8", but imagine Ben Simmons, type of player that can pass and make everybody better, but he can score.
the thing.
That's
Yeah,
Cade Cunningham. He'll be better than Ben Simmons in my opinion.
you know what? I'm looking at this lineup. I'm looking at the 1 through 14 for the picks because again, this people are saying that this draft class has a lot of talent and it is deep. If you look at the 1 through the 10, it has a very deep style of like just players in general. The Warriors and the Orlando Magic. Orlando's got the fifth and the eighth, and the Warriors got the seventh and the 14th. I can see a team like the Warriors picking up some
The
good
Warriors got
talent.
2 picks. That's
They do.
crazy.
They do in the top 14 from the 1 to
And we just
14.
talked about them as far as like we think, well, they'll be a finals type of team, and if they get two big time superstars in this, well, not superstars, but two good draft picks, then that's going to say a lot.
Oh, 100%. And again, again, when I'm looking at it, Golden State, they have room. They're a type of team that can take one of these picks and trade down and get assets because like they're getting Clay back next year. They're keeping Steph. They have their guy. They have James Wiseman, who honestly, other than injuries, I thought played really well last year. I thought James did a really good job, and they still
The
got
fact that they
Draymond.
got the number 7 pick is going to add to their roster so much
Hundred
because
percent.
they've already got their first like 6 players lined
Yeah,
out.
they got
So if
good.
you had a guy that could potentially crack that rotation, if not be that seventh guy, that's unreal
You,
talent
you
wise.
know it's tough. If you look at the total order, OKC kind of got snaked because they had not one, not two. This year they had three first round picks. They got the sixth, but they couldn't go any higher than that. And again, I feel kind of
Not
bad, but at the same time, I don't because the Raptors got that fourth, and I cannot complain. I cannot
not only
complain at all.
that, but I feel bad for the Chicago Bulls.
Oh
They would have
man,
had the eighth pick, but
if Kenny
since
Beecham somehow listens to this podcast, I'm sorry for you, bro. You and your Bulls got absolutely snaked again. I can't. I'm sorry, bro. If you know, that's a YouTuber that I follow, and he's a huge Bulls fan. But yeah, the Bulls they are bad luck right now, man. Vucevic played like kind of ass this year, and Vooch was supposed to be that guy that was put on the team with Levine and started playing their like both brand of ball, but nah, he fizzled. He did not succeed. He fizzled
two
out.
players that I think are going to be breakout guys, even though they might not get picked in the lottery, are Miles McBride, point guard out of West Virginia, which I'm a West Virginia University fan, of course, but I watched him a lot. He's going to be a nice sleeper. But also Ayo Dosunmu from Illinois. Man, he was good for a team that was top 10, top 15 most of the year.
I'm looking at this draft order, and Houston has three first round picks. They got the second, the 23rd, and the 24th. I'm looking at New York Knicks. They got the 19th and the 21st. I'm looking at a team like I said, like Golden State. They got the seventh, but then you look at OKC. They got the sixth, the 16th, and the 18th. So I feel like OKC has the ability to trade with a lot of teams this year.
There's
Like
quality all the way through this draft, though. Like some
yes,
of these players that might get picked in the 20 through 30 range might be as good as some of the lottery picks.
trust me, that's my favorite spot, right? The Raptors are known for taking guys that don't even get drafted, let alone get drafted low, and turning them into successful players. Like I don't have
The
any doubt.
Spurs as well are very good at that.
100%. But you know what? I'm going to be very excited to see what the draft day comes and what happens with the draft. I think what
Oh
else I'm
yeah,
excited
we need to
for.
have a draft party.
I think the last thing I want to talk about today is the hype, and not the hype, the infamy that is Ben Simmons. Because over the past couple of days,
Yeah, we
I've
haven't
listened,
really touched on it.
bro. I've listened to Stephen A. Smith, Matt, whatever, just everybody, Colin Caherd. Ben Simmons has just totally lost the respect of the league in the span of like 7 games at the
And it
Hawks.
seems like Embiid is actually throwing him under the bus a little bit too.
Embiid is the
I
type
think
of guy
I
to do
think he's
that.
glad that the blame's not on him.
You know what? Embiid, again, I mentioned it before and I'll say it again. Embiid and Ben Simmons, they are not superstars. They're all stars that like the glory and the fame. And that's what they're playing for. Like, yes, they can hype up themselves all they want, but at the end of the day, yes, Ben Simmons wasn't shooting, but you could still beat the Atlanta Hawks, right? Like it's not on one guy, it's on the team. You can't blame Seth. Seth was popping off. He was averaging 61% from the field and from three. Can't blame Seth. Joel
Here's my
Embiid,
thing. I think they should do more pick and roll with Embiid coming high and screening for Simmons. Then you got Curry to kick it out to. Let
I
Ben Simmons do what he's good at. Let him
yeah,
drive the ball.
Ben
Let
Simmons
him
will
drive and penetrate and then kick it out.
he will
Or
never
dump it
live
off to Embiid.
he will never live down not dunking on Trae Young and then passing out to Tyrese Maxey. That was just
Yeah, that was
terrible.
the epitome of the problem right there
That was
because
awful.
all he has to do is dunk it, and I believe he was scared he was going to get fouled.
Oh fuck. Yeah, and hack a Ben. He has the lowest free throw percentage ever, and that's including Wilt and Shaq and Drummond. Everybody. He has the
And Ben
worst.
Wallace, who I
Yep.
love, that was a bad free throw shooter.
He is now the worst all time. Way to go, Ben. 6 foot
Ben
11 point
Ben
guard.
Wallace was our good luck charm at the draft day, by the way.
Oh, Ben Wallace looks so
I had my
fucking
number one
happy.
Chauncey Billups jersey on. I was ready for the number one pick, baby.
Yep. You know who got that jersey for him? Peter the Rock.
Yes, sir.
I think. Oh man, what they are saying though, which will be interesting to see. I don't think Ben Simmons is back on the Sixers. People are speculating that he'd be a decent trade for CJ, and his stock has dropped so low that just might be a straight up trade.
From what I've seen, they are putting out there, which this could be just a front end to kind of keep the media at bay. But they're saying they have a plan for him as far as helping him fix his shot,
You know what his plan
keeping
is?
him there.
You know what their plan is? Putting him on another team. That's gonna be their
That's
plan.
that's what I think that should be.
Honestly, people were making the case for putting, like I said before, CJ for Ben. It seems like a bad trade for for Philly, but honestly, Philly needs to get rid of Ben.
Ben
And
Simmons to the Nets.
if
Just
no,
kidding.
honestly, I can even as a joke, I don't think that would ever work, just because his style is
Yeah.
so contrary to everything else. But honestly,
If you bring him in on the second team,
yeah, we talked about Lillard in like one of our first episodes, and I think Ben Simmons would be a great small forward playing on the Portland Trail Blazers because he plays so opposite of like Norm and the way Lillard play right now. Because Norm is a really good cutter, but he's been kind of chilling and taking more shots because of the way the Portland team is based around. I think if you put like CJ and Covington in a trade package, or like CJ and Ennis Cantor for like a guy like Ben Simmons with a little bit of money, like, or a pick, I feel like Ben could probably thrive on Portland as as the number three, as like a as the small forward. But you know what? It's too early to tell. All I can tell you right now is I put my money on Ben Simmons never putting on a Sixers jersey again.
I would like to see him in two places, either Indiana or Boston. I feel
Speak
like that could work.
speak
Indiana's a nice upstart,
and
fast,
Indiana
penetrating type of
just
team.
literally just hired Rick Carlisle like an hour ago.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's a good move for
It's a
them.
great move for them. You know, it's going to be interesting because again, Rick Carlisle has shown that he can be an amazing. He is an amazing coach, but it's just, you know what? It's been an organization that hasn't won since 2011, and especially having Luca and Porzingis, you can't really blame Carlisle for Porzingis, but there could have been he could have done something better in terms of rotations and being able to stick with the Clippers in Game 7 and win that game. You know,
Rick Carlisle is the winningest coach in the Mavericks history,
100%.
and
Yeah,
he brought them a title.
yes, he did.
Or well, I'll say helped bring them a title. But
Exactly.
if the Indiana Pacers have a last 10 years like the Mavericks had, I feel like that'll be a successful pickup.
Oh,
Good
for
move
sure.
for them.
Because honestly, the Indiana Pacers haven't really been relevant since they lost Paul George. Like even with guys like Oladipo, like it's not the same. You know, like they haven't shown that type of greatness and that ability to even just be in the playoffs, let alone compete.
And you got to feel bad for a team like that that has everything right, they do everything right, and they get there almost, and then everything just implodes.
Because again, that team
Then
is
they don't go back.
honestly like that team this year, especially they had one of the top steals leaders, and fucking I forget his name,
T.J. McConnell.
T.J. McConnell. Yeah, like low key one of the best defensive guards in the league. Fucking stole everything. Had a
You
game
got
with
some
like
pieces there
they
for
have
an upstart. They got
Miles Turner really
Harris
decided.
LeVert.
But Miles
Let's not
Turner.
forget about the big boy in the middle, Sabonis.
Oh yeah,
That boy's
again,
a monster.
I think the only thing holding the team back is again a decent front office, and that's what they're trying to build. And I can really appreciate
Imagine
that.
you put Ben Simmons on that team, and you got Ben Simmons, you got LeVert, you got Doug McDermott at your small forward, you got Sabonis at the power, and Miles Turner. That's pretty good for the East.
Oh, it's great for that
And then you
team.
got McConnell off the bench. They got some not. Oh, not to mention Malcolm Brogdon.
Malcolm Brogdon has shown that he is indeed worthy of that Rookie of the Year he got a couple years ago.
Larry Bird's smart. They just haven't been able to get over the hump.
100%. It's the same thing with like MJ, right? MJ finally put a team together that is competent. They got LaMelo, they got Scary Terry, and they got the pieces around them to work hard, like Gordon Hayward. I think with this pickup
That's
this
a
year,
team I'll be excited to see what they do in the
yeah,
draft.
exactly. We're seeing those. We're seeing the old head NBA players that become managers start to actually put in the work and get the teams that they have basically struggled to put into any type of greatness into some greatness. And I'm looking forward to it.
Uh, did you see the Celtics who they hired as a coach?
Actually, no,
I, b- I believe it was the Celtics. Uh, you probably don't remember this guy because he was kind of a role player in the NBA, but Epi Udoka.
I've heard of him. Yes,
They
that's right. I
hired
saw.
him. They
Yeah,
hired
they
him.
did.
He was Brooklyn's assistant coach, and then they went to him because Brad Stevens went to management role.
Yeah, Brad Stevens in a management role. He like honestly that was a good call for them because I think as a coach he's great, but him having a say in everything it'll be amazing because he's shown that he can do it. He's shown that he's the type of person to like go and do something like Masai Ujiri did with Kawhi Leonard. I feel like he'll be like the same type of GM and be able
I
to do
think
that
he'll
stuff too.
thrive in a new role actually,
Oh,
and they're kind
100%.
of rewarding him for the years that he had with Boston because he came in there young after he left Butler. He got Butler to the national title game with Gordon Hayward, and like once they brought him into Boston, he did a good job. But I think where everything's not going as smooth right now, they don't want to lower his value.
Exactly. 100%. You know what? The Celtics next year, another team. Once they get healthy and they get Jalen Brown back, especially the way Tatum's developed this year, I feel like they're going to be a very scary team to face off against.
Oh yeah, those two wing players are huge. They're both
Huge.
what 6'8", 6'9" almost,
Tatum's
and
they said Tatum grew to 6'10".
is he 6'10" now?
Apparently, that's how he grew in the
Yeah,
offseason. Like, and it's that's which is wild because he's like a guard, right? He plays like a guard, but he's big bodied like a small forward, power forward.
that's what I'm saying. Most teams don't have the ability to match up with both of those guys. Like I
Exactly.
said, if you just say collectively they're 6'9" each, uh, who has that big of wing players to stop guys that can score like a KD? I'm not saying they're on that KD level, but they
Honestly,
have some of that moveset arsenal.
I would say maybe only the Clips because they got Kawhi and they got Paul George at the wing spot, so that would be like probably the best matchup I can think of.
Yeah,
I would have said Philly because Philly
I
was
haven't
the
lost hope in that Celtics team because they still got the pieces.
100%. I think that Philadelphia. I think that's
But Philly
no
down the drain,
down the
boys.
drain, bro. And with that, I think that's all the time we have for today. Thank you everyone for listening again. Feel free to leave a like, subscribe, let us know what you
Much
guys want to
love,
hear
y'all.
next time.
Appreciate it.
We appreciate the support. We appreciate the views. Make sure to click the thumbs up button. Everyone have an awesome day, and we'll see you guys soon. Peace.
God bless.